This morning has been devastating. When I woke up, I lost everything. I lost my car keys, couldn't find my phone, ran out of coffee. It was terrible. Crypto is doing fine, however. A lot of people, however, they do think that the world is coming to an end right now. And guys, I would honestly say this is a blessing right here. Let's go over the market and what you should do right now and how we can separate the rich from the poor. Because this opportunity is like this is a blessing. This is a gift, guys. So sorry, like somebody tell Miles Deutsche that this is how you do clickbait. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Sorry for this. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and the actual content is going to be fine, of course. I think there are a lot of people making videos right now on YouTube, be like, it's coming to an end, sell, bull market over, trouble, paradise, whatever it might be. I am honestly, these times, I'm getting way more excited than the times where everything is high. And it is very simple. And I got a message from a community member, and he showed me a tweet, and he said, "Bro, look at this tweet. I'm starting to get a little worried." And I looked at the tweet and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." So this is the tweet. This is a guy. This is not a big account or anything, but it's just a guy. He said, "People keep telling you to buy altcoins, but right now the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, is struggling to go past its all-time high from the last bull run, even though Bitcoin was making multiple new highs in the last 2 months. This cycle is literally different." No, this is all what happened last time as well. Although it feels for a lot of people like it is bad, it is trouble, it is different, right? A lot of new people in crypto, especially, they look at this and be like, what the hell is going on, right? Bitcoin is at $93,000. That feels kind of shitty for people. Right? I mean, we were finally above 100K and now Bitcoin is all the way down to $93,000. But altcoins are taking a big fat hit as well. Now, I want to be very clear about this. And I want to first let you know that this is nothing to worrying. Two, that I'm buying the crap out of this market right now. Right now. Like, I'm not waiting. Right? Okay, this is the moment. And I'm going to show you why and I'm going to show you what. But first off, this account, he said like Bitcoin making new all-time highs, but the altcoin market isn't. That's different. Okay, look, guys. Some people they might look at this and be like, yeah, what's going on with altcoins, right? Bitcoin is doing fine and altcoins are not doing fine. Well, if we look at the last cycle, right, the last cycle, and why do I keep comparing to the last cycle? Because that's what we are literally repeating all the time. Plus, last cycle went kind of up eventually, right? When did Bitcoin made a new all-time high in the last cycle? That was over here, right? This was the previous high. This is where we broke it, this point, in December 14, 2020. Now, let's overlay the altcoin market. What happened with the altcoin market at that point? The altcoin market was sitting here, right? This point right here at, what was it? $44 billion. The previous all-time high was 70, right? So although Bitcoin made a new all-time high, altcoins, they didn't, right? They had to wait for a month or so, right? So it's not that Bitcoin makes a new all-time high and altcoins go right away with it. It's always Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, and then the money has to flow from Bitcoin into altcoins. Matter of fact, if you look at this, and this is maybe a little perspective, like I don't think we should completely expect this to play out again, but if you look at this, when did the altcoin market make a new all-time high? That was actually here, where it really broke the previous high, right? Like this candle right here. And that was on February the 1st, 2021. Now let's go back to Bitcoin. February 1st, 2021. That was here, right? So what actually happened here? Well, Bitcoin broke its old all-time high of like 20K, ran up all the way to what in this candle it was 40K. So Bitcoin had to go 2x above its previous all-time high before altcoins even started to make a new all-time high. Look, I'm not saying we should do that right now. That would mean 140K Bitcoin before altcoins even make a new all-time high. But yeah, it's what happened last time. Like, this is not crazy, and this is not different. Now, of course, if you look at the altcoin market, hey, let's not ignore the fact that this is one big fat ass weekly candle to the downside, 27%, bro. This is really a lot. This is really a lot. Definitely cannot ignore that. But you have to realize that this is a good thing, right? There was one, a lot of liquidity or a lot of leverage in the market that has to go away, right? That's not sustainable growth. But two, like, people always complain when the market is up, like, I missed it and I didn't make enough money, right? Like, when do you hear people say in these kind of candles, like, I made more money than I wanted? God damn it. Like, I don't know, right? But you have to realize, and therefore we can now finally separate the people that are going to make it from the people that are not going to make it, right? Every time the market is sitting really low, there are people that say, this is bad. This is not good. I'm not buying. It's different right now. It's whatever, right? Okay, so these people don't buy here. But you have to realize that if you don't buy here, then what do you have to sell when it's high? Nothing, because you didn't buy, right? So if you do not take these drawdowns as an opportunity, look, I made a lot of money and I sold a lot. I took a lot of profits up here. And the reason why I was able to do that was because I took the opportunity down here. That's the only thing. Again, if you are now looking at a market that is going down and you try to find a reason for yourself, like, yeah, well, this was the news or whatever, then you will never be able to sell when it's up here, right? Because eventually the market goes up here again and higher. And you won't profit from that because you were, I don't know, scared, emotional, whatever it may have been, right here. So if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen this. I placed a couple tweets. The first one, next year the altcoin market is obviously going way higher than today, and if the obviously could have been in capital letters. Watch one of my latest videos, whatever. Like, this is the time to be bullish, right? Also said that a 30% correction could happen, definitely. So you always have to have cash aside, right? But now there is a correction and people complain about the market. They always complain about the market, right? Oh, the market is doing this and that. It's always about the market, right? It's anybody's fault except for themselves. But this is the most obvious opportunity ever right now in this whole market. If you cannot take this opportunity, it means you already went all in when the prices were higher. You should not complain about the market, but yourself. The market is doing the exact same thing as the last two cycles. This was predictable as fuck, but you needed to think that this time was different, right? Again, take the opportunity. And I'm not saying you should buy every small dip that we are getting right now, but hey, we have the daily candles are quite nasty right now. But this is the place where I am looking to buy, right? One huge support at this level. Don't be that guy that says like, no, it's not going to be okay, and then it does this, and this was all for nothing, right? I already feel FOMO now that I'm not buying, but that I went into the office and started to make a video because it's already going up on the last 2 seconds. But this is a very good place to buy. Look, I'm not saying that it cannot go lower. Yeah, it could. Maybe. I don't know. I have no clue, right? I can make a best guess. But if you're not buying here, then like here you were bullish. Why not here, right? It's way lower right now. The altcoin market already is down with like 34%, right? It's crazy. And also, if you take a look at the Fib retracement, then you can see that this is exactly where this, golden zone is coming in. Plus, if you overlay even more, you can also see that this is, kind of next week-ish where the bull market support band comes in. So there's a lot going on right here. There's a lot going on right there. So that this is a place for me where I would say, like, I sometimes get people in also in the Alpha Factory where I shared what I've sold, right? And it's crazy, but I have sold coins here which I can now buy back twice as cheap. Like I sold Polish Star Atlas for 33 cents, right? Or 3.3, whatever it might be. And it's now 1.6. I'm like, okay, I'm back in. Right? I'm back in, definitely. So some people, they ask me, like, when to buy? Like, I don't know when you should buy, but I am heavily DCAing right now, heavily. Next tweet that I placed was, I hear this a lot. Altcoins are dead because insert reason. It's the worst altcoin bull market ever because insert reason. This time is different because insert reason. Look at this chart. Is it? No. Like, let's look at the updated charts a little lower right now. Here we go. Look, this is where we are right now, right? These are altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, right? The whole reason why this matters is, look, altcoins on the dollar pair, yeah, they are up from the bottom, definitely, right? Why? Because Bitcoin is a fucking 100K, okay? Yeah, now 93, but Bitcoin is up a lot. But if it was for these altcoins, they were down low right now, right? Because on their Bitcoin pair, they haven't done that well. But then again, look closely at this, bro. We are now in December 2024. Well, there is a thing called the 4-year cycle. So let's take it 4 years back. December 2020. Where were we sitting? At the bottom, right? That was the exact point where we are right now. No, it's coincidence. Okay, December 2016, where we were sitting? At the bottom, right? And it got followed by a big alt season. Here it got followed by a big alt season. And now that we are here, people, they say, of course, like, but there's no alt season. There won't be an alt season. But they have zero reasons to believe that. They are emotional, right? You are emotional. Stop listening to the Backstreet Boys while, watching Desperate Housewives for a year and look at the actual numbers. Study the cycle and realize what an opportunity this is. You're not getting this again, all right? Otherwise, you would have to wait another 4 years to probably fuck it all up again, okay? Because believe me, what do you think the sentiment was over here? The same, if not worse, than what we have right now, right? And here as well, even worse, right? Because here there was not much of a guarantee that altcoins were coming back because there were not a lot of altcoins to start with, right? And here it was more like, yeah, okay, we only had one altcoin run, really. Maybe that was just the ones in a, and now it's really a trend, right? So now the sentiment is the same. And of course, people are now saying like, but now it's not going to happen because now, blah, 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 blah. And I just look at the charts and I'll be like, man, if it was actually that bad, then why is the chart doing the exact same thing as the other cycles right before it blew up, right? Like, don't let your emotions lead the way. And again, of course, like when I say in my videos, like I'm big on this time is not different, right? Because it isn't so far. And by the time it is, I'm willing to change my view together with the market, of course, but I'm not trying to outsmart the market until it actually happens, right? But when I say that this time is not different, I don't mean any microscopic move, right? Like, of course, like, I mean, every, let me show you this. Like, in this cycle, for example, we had a black swan, right? Well, this cycle, we hadn't. So you could say, like, this time is different. Like, yeah, in the middle of the cycle, how things move are always different. Like, if that's exactly the same, that would be a little weird, of course, right? So that's always different. But then again, if you look at the bigger picture as a long-term investor and not an impatient, emotional trader, then you can see like, hey, we have the top then 4 years later, top 4 years later, bottom 4 years later, bottom again 4 years later, having every 4 years, the presidential election every 4 years, the global money flow is there for a reason, right? That's why the chart moves like this in the first place. We have Bitcoin, then the high caps, then the low caps. That's always the same. Like the alt seasons occur always at the same point. It's all the same. It's all the same. So it's actually not different. Now, that's the big picture. So for me, I don't really care much what happens today or tomorrow, because I'm not planning on trading that short term or anything. Mm, if anything, yeah, if it dips like this, I'm gonna buy up, right? Because I was also able to take my profits again right here because I had the opportunity and I took it to buy it here, right? But on the shorter term, yeah, things are always different, of course. Like, again, that would be weird if it's always the same. And one big thing that's now different, well, not different, maybe the timing is different, maybe the behavior is exactly the same, is this. Bitcoin has a correction right now of, and again, guys, like it looks terrible, right? Bitcoin has a correction of this is or 16k correction in a week. And then again, with the current price, that's 14%. Like, if that's all the correction we get in these cycles, I'm fucking signing me up, man. Like, that's the lowest ever, right? But this is what Bitcoin has right now. Now, if you look at the previous cycles around the same period, right? December 2020, and let's go to December 2016. I'm even looking at the chart, just pointing where the timing is. Then you see that around these periods, right? Bitcoin here, and I've showed this before, has a correction of 30%, right? And then here, in this stage of the market in 2021, we had a correction of 30%, right? So Bitcoin is now halfway there, right? And if we are going to again have a 30% correction, and this was the starting point, then it could take us all the way down to the bull market support band, actually, 40 or 74, 75K, give or take. Yeah, that could happen, right? It also happens to be this resistance point. So also that's the same. However, the only thing that is now a little different is that the Bitcoin dominance is doing something different, right? Because the Bitcoin dominance, bam, mooning right now. In the last corrections where this happened, so December 2020, which was here, and December 2016, which is here, there the dominance didn't necessarily moon at this exact stage, right? Here, the dominance went down together with the Bitcoin correction. And here, the dominance went down, because that happened in January, actually. The correction for Bitcoin started here, together with the Bitcoin correction, right? Now, the dominance is going up together with the Bitcoin correction, and that's making sure that altcoins are getting extra wrecked. And already this weekly move on the dominance makes a lot of people believe that the whole fucking cycle is going to change now, right? Again, what happens in the short term, right, it doesn't have to say anything about how the rest of the complete cycle is going to look like. So, and a reason why this might go up is because QE hasn't arrived, right? And that's what Benjamin Cohen is good at, so I will leave that to him. But, you know, he kind of shows like, hey, last cycle, alt season really kicked off when QE began. And the Fed just kind of announced that QT is still going to remain, right? And the overall market is a little more bearish because, hey, there will be less rate cuts than expected, more inflation than expected, and the market already priced these rate cuts in. And now it's going to be less, so people need time to process that. That's kind of what it is. And at a certain point, in a week from now, whatever, that news will settle. And the market will continue being bullish because we are... Look, you can say whatever you want, but if a chart looks like this, I cannot define this as a bear market, right? So this is a opportunity in a bull market. And therefore, I'm buying the crap right now. Again, I'm not buying Bitcoin. Like, I want more upside. I think that with altcoins, there's a lot of upside. If you want to play it a little safe, then you could go with Ethereum. It got rejected at a pretty, I mean, this was a pretty obvious point. And it's funny, right? The chart was here, right? The chart was here 3 weeks ago. And it happens to be that we get news at this exact point that takes it down. And again, it's another like piece of proof, like news doesn't really matter. The chart just does something and it will go down, and there will be some piece of news attached to that. Overall, I do think that if you want to look at an altcoin back and if it's worth to buy, then this is the chart that you want to look at. Others/Bitcoin. I had someone from YouTube asking, how do I get this chart? You just type it and press enter. So you won't find it in your list. Just press enter. But this is the chart that shows you, like, is it bullish or bearish? And in this case, hey, I mean, altcoins are still in a downtrend, definitely. But then again, it's nothing weird or anything, right? Again, alt season here started, January 2021. Here, alt season, even a little later, right? You could say that it started in January already and it took a little pause and then really took off. You could say that it started in February, whatever, like early Q1 of the post-halving year, right? That's what I've been saying for a long time, for maybe I think 2 years right now. Like, hey, alt season, end of 2024, beginning 2025. And the last weeks I was a little too, how do you call it, vocal about alt season starting, right? And then it got slapped down again. But then again, fuck that. Then it has a month delay or 2 months, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's this period, right? And that's fine. It's only the better because there's more time for you to allocate. And again, if you are impatient or scared or emotional, you are probably somebody who says, no, not gonna happen. This time is the... Look at the chart. And if you do that, you cannot find a reason for yourself to believe that this time it's not gonna work out like this again. It will. It will. Right? But again, also, what I think that the market has done is in this last run-up, it did not leave enough people behind. And you have to understand, that's what the market needs to do, right? If you are somehow having 100K in crypto and you turn it into $1 million, this bull market, right? 10x. Yeah, then you are winning. Your percentage gains is so high that you have to have a lot of losers to pay for that, right? It's play versus player. It's not money out of thin air, right? So, and I don't feel like we had a lot of losers lately, right? This pump was predictable. It was easy. The narratives were easy. Like, you could invest in AI agents, make money, take it out, know when to take profits, and it was easy. But now it's going down, and now I feel like, okay, maybe this is the last shakeout to make people, to put them in the disbelief stage. And that's what we need. Because look how fast this is going down. I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying it's also possible that it can go up that fast again. This took a lot of people off guard. We might see a candle like this someday that takes people off guard as well, but to the upside. So you don't want to be there. You don't want to be the one now that says like, I'm not buying because of whatever the fuck, right? I'm very curious how this level is going to hold. I mean, we are at the lower side of it. So after this video, straight away, I go shopping. And hey, we can wick below it, whatever. It depends on how it draws, right? I think that the bull market support band might be actually a good place, at least the upper side of it, right? And if we look at the wicks, then whatever. Anywhere between this and 280 billion, perfect. Worst case scenario, I can see it go to 250. But if that happens, then I'm going all in, right? I'm now going in with 50% of my money. Here's the rest. And from there, just pray and wait. Okay? Last thing, I also said this. shopping time. Also said, I got introduced to crypto in 2013. Since then, I got wrecked, scammed, rucked, and played out of the market in so many different ways. But really, guys, believe me, as soon as I started ignoring news and narratives and I started to follow the cycle, I started to really make money. If you ever, this is not financial advice, but if you ever look for general advice about crypto, this is by far the best I can give you, okay? Believe me, been there, done that. So you can, of course, search for best altcoins to buy right now. But if you like, no. You have to get the basics together first, okay? And a lot of people are new. A lot of people, they don't know that yet. And some people here on the channel, they know this. They maybe need some confirmation every now and then. Like, okay, I know this is good, but still, dips kind of scary. I need somebody to tell me that it's going to be okay. I think that's very understandable. So yeah, I'm definitely buying. Now, what am I buying? Look, it's not that if I give coins right now, that it's necessarily because these are the best coins or anything. It's just like the coins that I either have a low allocation in, or the coins that I bought really low, sold high, and want to buy back right now. Like, for example, Eldora. Man, bro, I bought it here and I DCA'd out from I sold a little bit at 3 cents, by the way. But then I sold at 7, at 12, and more at 16, right? And it's now at 7 again. Like, this is a coin that I can happily buy back right now. Again, I bought Polis, Star Atlas, a little bit, because I sold at 33 cents. Yeah, again, I can buy it back twice as cheap right now. So I can give coins, but that's more for me personal. No, like, you don't have any message to that. But I would say look at coins that really outperformed and that now give a great opportunity. Like, Wild World really outperformed hard, right? Like, if you look at this chart, it had a spike, which was absolutely crazy. It went to over $1, and now it's sitting half of it already. Superverse is having a big fat retrace right here, and this candle is doing what I did not expect it to do, man. Really, like, I TA'd this, and this wick just threw all the TA off the table, right? I mean, the TA was fine, like, this was a clear uptrend, right? This had 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's more than enough confirmations. But then again, this wick was just a general market wick, yeah. Then Superverse is not immune to that, right? And I threw this in the Alpha Factory by the lower side of the range if it gets there, right? And I set that here, but it went all the way up. Yeah, now we are there anyway, right? So this must be a great place. And if it gets here, worst case scenario, great, man. I think that's a great one. Seedify, really beautiful. I do want to see how this is going to play out, though, because this is the uptrend for Seedify at the moment, give or take, right? And in that case, it could go to 120, but it's now 130. Like, it's not like, if you don't want to be too picky about the exact bottoms for some project and you feel like, what's another 10%? Fine. Ronin taking a nice hit. Might retest this uptrend as well. I think Prime is at a beautiful level at the moment, by the way. It had this support right here. It broke. It had this whole place as resistance for a long time. It broke, it mooned, right? Once it broke to $16, almost 17. Now it's back here again. So this should be good support. If not, then here. So what I'm basically doing right now, guys, is I'm placing 2 buy level. Why do I do this? 2 buy levels for my altcoins. 50% in at the first buy level, 50% at the second. From there, wait, right? If it goes lower, then fuck it. Let's not try to time the bottom anyway. For most coins, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't reach the second in the first place. So that I do think that Playbull is in a good area again as well. But that area goes from 2 to 1. Yeah, there's 100% range basically. So, and it's now at 1.7. So, yeah, this is the slow DCA over this whole area right here should be fine. Um, if you want to have a safer coin, a real no-brainer, I would say AVAX is fantastic actually. I must say that beautiful. The big support for AVAX comes in at around $31. We are not there yet. And again, 33. Also, that's a 10% difference. Like, don't be too picky about those type amounts, right? You don't want that it goes down all the way from 56 to 33 and you're waiting for the last $3 to buy, but that it then does this, right? Like, that's a waste. You could have taken advantage of this. I wouldn't look at too many low caps yet. I published a video on the channel saying time for risk on, but what I said in the video was I'm going risk on, like, and with risk on I mean really low caps, once Bitcoin does either of these two things, right? And that's either breaking either breaking the 1.618. Well, clearly it went above it, it wicked, but it got a fat rejection at that point. Or when Bitcoin gets a fat rejection and goes really to a low area. And if you ask me how low Bitcoin might go, yeah, that I find a little hard to actually say, if I'm being real. I do think actually that if we do not hold 86K, that 80 is on the table. But we are still quite far from that. But then again, yeah, look, this happened in 1 week. Give it another couple weeks, right? Like, it may be possible. How low can altcoins go? Well, I think at a certain point, if the correction will go on even more, that Bitcoin will eventually dump harder than altcoins, because people start buying dips, and I don't think they look at Bitcoin and be like, oh yeah, let's buy that dip. Like, people like me, for example, they want more upside. They know, like, hey, we're in a bull market, we're about to enter the post-halving year. I want some upside. So therefore, I do think that the altcoin market eventually will bottom out somewhere here, and that Bitcoin might dip a little more, and that could correspond with the fact that the Bitcoin dominance is sitting at the resistance level again, right? So that's quite funny actually, and that could explain it. Also, if you look at 618 coming in over here, right? 618, exactly where we are sitting right now, and that happens to be the place where we got rejected in the last cycle as well for the dominance here and here, right? And there was kind of a double top. Hey, maybe we get a double top again, but maybe a little bit close to each other. Who knows, right? So, but I think that for altcoins, it now is a good time. And don't blame me if it goes down another 10% again. Should not be too picky about that. But this looks like a great time. So I'm going shopping. See you guys very soon. Sorry for the clickbait. It was nasty. It was inappropriate. I should not do it again, and I probably will. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like, let's stay a little on the ground with our feet, or whatever the saying is over there in America. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.